Right. So basically, it's just a continuation of what we discussed last time about the substitute, the ActiveX substitute for the calendar. And I've had a additional conversation with the CodeJock fellows, and basically now I need someone to do a test because otherwise I can't. Because they say that on their side everything works, but on my side I still have a problem, which I'm going to show it to you now. If I open the file on my side.
Are you guys all seeing his screen? Because I'm not seeing any screen.
No, I'm not seeing his screen.
No, me neither. You need to present your screen, Giorgio.
Ah, right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's right. We'll do that.
And then I'm going to have to play around with this thing to try and figure out why it wouldn't recognize my mic this morning.
Yeah, I know with Mindale, I had to switch it back over to the computer's mic, and then reconnect it, and then it reset it, and it was fine. So, Giorgio, when I open up that form, I'm getting an error message. There is no object in this control. So I don't know if there's a reference.
No, wait, no, because you have to register it you have to register it using the VBA IDE. So I'll show you how to do it, but basically you have to go into the let me see if my file is open so you can see it, which is the same as the one that you've downloaded.
Do a reg serve?
You have to register the ActiveX control. I'll show you how to do it, because otherwise you won't see it.
Is the ActiveX control included in Office, or is it a separate one? Is it a new one?
No, this is provided by CodeJock, and it is included into form, let me see.
Right, but in order to register the OCX, don't we need the OCX file?
I think you're right. Let me see. Because I've included it. No, wait. What is the? I think I'm on the wrong. Oh, no, wait. I've opened up the wrong file.
You wouldn't be the first one that did that.
Okay, here it is. So you see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So so going to design view.
You see his screen?
I see an access window. You're not seeing that, Andy?
No,
because this because it has expired, but maybe on your side it hasn't. So basically, what you have to do, you don't have the message because mine has expired, while yours because you have a month. So what you have to do, let me see, because if you see my screen, you see that the control is put into form 1. Can you see form 1?
Well,
I see form 1. Yes.
So you see that now I've selected the control, the ActiveX control.
Right.
So now, in order to register it, yeah, but I think you're right. I think I have to provide you with. Let me just go into the proper folder to send you the file.
Now, what version of Office is this you're working with, Giorgio?
16.
16, okay.
And 16. Okay, CodeJock. Here it is. ActiveX. Bin. Now the 18. Calendar, this one here. So let's see if I can drag it to the window. Let's see. this. You cannot upload OCXs. I have to zip it. Let me see.
What is Giorgio? What is it you're trying to do with this date picker ActiveX control?
I'm just trying to replace the Microsoft sorely missed OCX calendar, because it still does everything that I needed, but Microsoft decided that for Access 64 bits is not going to work. So I'm looking for some substitute, because sooner or later we'll move to Access 64 bits, and I need a replacement, unfortunately, because this calendar was absolutely, it's just accompanied all my projects for about more than 10 years without any flaws or any misgivings or anything. So it's just perfect. I don't know why Microsoft says that OCX is, they advise to use the date picker, which is associated with text box controls. If you set them to like data type, then when you click the control, then the calendar pops up. But I need something to permanently stay on the form, always open, and also respond to events. And this was perfect. So I mean, if the CodeJock calendar works, especially because it looks like that they said that they can also respond to events like clicking on a date and stuff like that, then it should be okay, despite of the fact that this does not have a combo box for selecting the year. So if you have like ancient dates, you have to scroll interminably backwards in order to find, like, I don't know, 2010 or stuff like that. Usually we don't do that. So it's not like a major drawbacks, because we usually stay in the month or like current year or stuff like that. Maybe go back at most last year, but so it's not a big problem. So I was just trying to, because the CodeJock people told me that on their side it works, because they usually provided with the calendar associated with the date picker. So the calendar is something that I don't need, because it's kind of an Outlook style calendar, which takes up a huge amount of space, real estate on the form, and so I just don't need that. So I just asked them whether I could make it work with just the date picker, and they said on their side it works, but on my side I have a message that says that well, I was wondering whether you can test it out and see whether you get the same message, especially because on my side I can't test it anymore, because my 30 days trial has expired, so I need someone to try it out before purchasing it. So I think the message was something along the lines of we don't recognize, Access doesn't recognize this particular control and stuff like that. So in spite of the fact that it's you can see it, well, obviously you can see it if you register it. So in order to, let me see if I can zip the file and send it. So if I zip it.
So are you running 64-bit Office?
No, 32, because I'm just, because they said that it works on 64, but first I wanted to make sure that it works at least in 32. So if it's easily portable to 64, then I don't think it matters whether I try it on 32 or 64. So let me see. Okay, this one here. Okay, this is the zip file. Let's try and put it into the conversation window. Okay. Now it's also uploaded together with the test ActDB. So you can unpack it and zip it and put it into, well, I can show you my path, which is this one here. No, wait, let me just go back to, okay. This is the path, let me see if I can. So you can, here's the path. Let me just copy it and paste it in the window.
So the main point was that you wanted to have an on-screen calendar that just sits in your app all the time.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have something better than this one, by all means, send it my way. I can even pay for that. Well, I mean, my company can pay for it because I use it extensively, the Microsoft Calendar, and we really can't do without it. Let me see if I can send it. So this is the path.
The reason I asked that was because I have a date time picker that I wrote a while back, but it doesn't stay resident. I use it as I call it, instead of the standard one, whenever I need to be able to select time as well.
Sorry, can you say that again? Because I just walked away for 20 seconds from the chat.
Yeah, the reason I asked was because I didn't realize you wanted something that was on-screen resident full time. I wrote a date time picker pop-up form.
No. I need something that's especially for continuous forms. For selecting dates, I need it to always be on present when the form opens.
Gotcha. Understood.
So this is kind of okay, although it's not like perfect like the Microsoft OCX, but I think I can go even with this one if it works. So if you want to copy it in the folder or something similar, but basically it doesn't matter where you copy it because you go into the, let me show you, if you go into the tools references in the VBA IDE, can you see it?
Yeah, I'm still seeing your screen, yes.
Okay, so you can see now in the available references, there's this Extreme Calendar ActiveX Control, which is registered.
Right.
So what you do is you just go to Browse, go to the folder where you put it, and then you go ahead and just say OK, and then it just appears in your available references. Once it appears in your references, then you will see the calendar in your form.
Have you tried to contact the guys at CodeJock software to see whether
yeah, we've had extensive conversations. Like, well, they only reply via mail, but I'm talking about 20, 30 back and forth mails about this thing because first it seemed like it looked like it was only working if you associated it with the Outlook style calendar. Then I asked them whether only the date picker can work, and they said yes. Since we can try it out. Then they said that the file that I sent you is their file. They sent me this file in order to try it out because on my side, on my well, I tried it on MDB, but I don't think it changes because in any case, even with this ActDB, which they sent, on their side it works. On my side, I get a message which I wanted to have someone to try it out and tell me whether they get the same message because otherwise they said that no, actually not them. I have to rectify a little bit here because it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to sum it up. It's this company has been suggested to me by a guy who's part of the Access UK user group, which is because in Italy you have no Access user groups because I think the user base is very minimal. And so I'm part of this UK Access Users Group. I've been to their meetings 4 times now. The last, I think it was 1.5 years ago. And there is one of the guys who's part of this group who suggested me this calendar. And so after a long exchange between me and the guys at CodeJock, I just told him that I get this message, and I sent them the last mail that I sent them. I said that I sent them a a picture of the message that I got, but they never got back to me. So I asked him, do you think that I can overcome this problem? And he says that yes, on my side it works. And he sent me this file that I sent you today. And he says that on his side it works. And he said that probably next week he'll try and remote connect with me using TeamViewer and see what's happening on my PC. But in the meantime, I just wanted to check with someone else whether they have the same problems that I have with trying to open well, no, actually not trying to open it, because I see the calendar. Let me see if I can show you, because if I go into view, no. No, because my license has expired. But normally, if you have you tried and registered the file?
I have not. I'm not going to try and download it yet because I have to ramp up a VM to install it into a different version. I've got Access 2007 running, and I didn't know that.
All right. Well, in any case, I guess if Andy is not or Richard don't have Access 2016 and are willing to test it out, then I guess I'll just have to wait for this guy to remote connect with me and see what's happening with with his file on my PC.
Hey Giorgio, can you type your email address in the conversation window so that if I get a chance to install it, I can test it and email you back?
This is my company address.
Okay, great. I'll see if I can find some time later on this afternoon to put that into a VM someplace and test it.
Right.
And then if well, I mean, you're what? What time is it your time?
It's let me see. It's 3:30 here.
Okay, so you're 6 hours behind me then. Okay.
Yeah. Ahead of you.
Ahead of me. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will see if I can't get that installed a little bit later and send you an email, and then maybe we can have a conversation about it.
Right.
Some other day. So
because I still have your Skype address, so we can chat on Skype.
Right.
Yeah.
What I'm logged in as right now is the Access User Group is not my personal Skype address. I'll have to send that to you. But I'll send that to you in an email.
All right. Let me see. Dale. Let's see. I have Dale 5.
You do have me there. So okay. Yep.
It's not Skype for Business. It's normal Skype.
Yeah. Exactly.
It says Dale 5 offline, Yorktown, Virginia, United States.
That would be me. Yep.
And the last conversation that we had was almost a year ago, on the 18th of August, 2017.
Right. Okay, so cool.
Right. Okay. I don't know if someone else wanted to present something else, but since this seems to be out of the way for the time being, since I don't think that Richard or Andy I don't know, well, they're available to try it out. So I guess I have another. Is anyone else still online? Is anyone else hearing me?
I'm still here. Susan is here, but
all right.
It looks as though Andy may have left, and it looks like Richard may have dropped out too. So it may have to do with when the system closed down and people just didn't get back in or not.
Sorry, what did you say? What was the last thing you said?
I said it may have to do with when people were logging out, had to log out and log back in.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I think Andy's point was that Andy had, the reason he asked me to start taking this over is that he's going to be working on some other projects in the near term, and asked me to take over the group. And I told him I would be glad to do so. So
right.
Now all I have to do is figure out why my microphone won't work and see if I can get that working again.
Because I can see we have 4 participants right now. One is me, then there's Susan, then there is you as a guest, 757-870-5446.
Yeah, that's my phone number, right?
And then there is an Access User Groups who I don't know who it is. Maybe
that's me. That's me. I'm logged into
right.
Access User
Okay.
Group.
So basically, in this like 20 minutes or so that we have left, I would have anher. Let me see if I can.
If you've got another question, let's
of course.
Let's talk about it.
I have plenty of questions, but I'm trying to just skim the less important ones and just try to go with the most difficult ones, or at least for me difficult. Maybe for you they're kind of easy. But I have another question, which is let me see. So can you still see my screen?
I do. Form 1?
Yeah, that's right. So let's just close this one because this is part of the calendar problem. So, okay. Now, classes. I have another problem with classes, which is something that I've never been able to grapple with, because it's just difficult. I've read a lot of material, but it's especially because, I mean, the forms and reports in Access are already classes by themselves, and so because everything is kind of already like built in, it's difficult to just stray away from these kind of classes and use like a homemade class. But I was reading something which has been prepared by, let me see if I can send you the link. Can you see the screen now?
I can, yep.
So this is, let me see, the name is Gary. He's an MVP, an Access MVP, an Australian one, Gary Richardson.
I know Gary, yeah.
He's done a great job in basically making available lots of material. It was in the Smart Access magazine in the 10 years ago. Yeah, but and then he basically converted most of it into PDFs and stuff like that, and he's made a lot of it available free of charge. Like this one that you see here, use classes to enhance list and combo boxes. So I was just reading through this one, and he also has like a sample file, which you can see here, but I can probably send you also the sample file. Let me see if I can. Here it is. This is the sample file. Let me see if I can put it into the conversation window. Here. There it is. Can you see it? And the attachments?
I'm looking in the conversation, and I don't see it showing up in the as an attachment in the conversation at the moment.
So in the attachments now you have only 2: the test ActDB and the code joc. How many files do you see in the attachment? Because if you've been able to download the code joc calendar.
I'm not seeing any attachments at all in my conversation at the moment.
How were you able to download the code joc calendar that I sent you the zip file?
I haven't yet. I haven't done
right.
yet.
Yeah, but do you see it, the code joc calendar, or no?
I do not see. I see it. Well, I see a link. I see the URL for it, but I do not see the actual file. I don't see the attachment link. If you look up here, if you look up a couple lines up from where you typed in your address.
Yeah.
Says,
that's just the path to my PC's path to the OCX. Is not any link. It's just the path.
Yeah.
So, I think that there is an attachment window somewhere. I'm just trying to find.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying. I was looking for it when you started asking about it.
Do you see my screen? Do you see that there is an attachment window open?
I see your attachment window. Yeah.
So you should have the same. You should have the same on your side.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how you got to that because I'm not seeing it anywhere.
Basically, what I did, yeah, you're right, because I mean, it just pops up when you drag a file onto the conversation window. Then this attachment window pops up, but I'm just trying to.
Interesting.
Let me see. No, it's not this one. Let me see if I close it. Let's see. This one? No. Let's see. Insert the link. Close the emoticon.
Yeah, I don't even have that hyperlink option in my conversation.
This is not. Let me see about this. No. That's weird. I mean, you can't.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, well, I can copy and paste the link to the page. Let me see, so it's easier for you.
Well, I've already opened the VB123 window. So I've already opened it.
Okay, right. So if you see towards the bottom of the page, it says download. Your download file is called Ferguson_listbox, etc. Towards the bottom of the page.
Right.
So if you click it, then it leads you to the access controls page, and then from there you can download this file.
I'll have to read that article and see what it's.
No, but basically, right, yeah, definitely. I guess you have to do that if you want to understand. But my problem is something that maybe if you're probably more conversant with classes than I am, something that you might probably solve even without. Can you see the window now?
Yes, I can see your window, but I will tell you, I am no more conversant with classes than you are.
Ah, right, okay.
I'm one of those holdouts who says, "Hey, there's nothing I can't do. There's nothing I can't do with a public function or subroutine or form that I need a class for."
In any case, can I just tell you my question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so can you see the form now? The form URL as class.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I go into design view, you can see that this item to remove box here, see it?
Okay.
It says unbound.
Okay.
So my question is, let me go back to view. Now it says you can see that it has one into the text box.
Right.
Right. My question is, if I go into into Alt F11 and I go into the form, this form here, the open event, you can see there is nothing anywhere that fills, because it's an unbound text field. There's nothing anywhere that fills this text box. I don't know how he does it.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so go back to your form.
Right.
And go ahead and add that URL and see what happens.
Still one.
Still one.
As it should be, because I mean.
Okay, so type in another URL. Type in www.dev.
Google. Okay, google.com.
There you go. That works. And add that one.
Is it okay? Google.com?
Yes.
Okay, so add.
Okay, now
It doesn't do the refresh. Well, it doesn't do the.
Go up now. Go up to the list box and click on one of those list box items and see if it does anything.
Multiple selection. Yeah. Well, let's try to remove one.
Okay. So now if it removed the first one. Well, no, it removed item number 1, which was the second item actually. So if you click on remove now, what does it do? I'll bet you it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't remove it.
So type a 0 in your item to remove, but in your box. Just type in
Sorry,
a 0 there.
You want me to type a 0?
Yeah, type in a 0 in that text box. And now click remove.
Ah, right. So how did you manage to get to that?
So now go to design view.
All right.
And go to the design of the form design.
Form design. All right. Okay.
And okay, so look at the default value for that.
Right. Oh God.
That's why it's showing 1. Now
Yeah.
So in other words, now what I would do is is that list box a multi-select list box or single select?
Let me see. Format.
Go to other.
Right. None. Right.
None. Okay. So what I would do is I would, in the click event of that list box, in the on click event, I would add, what's the name of that text box?
Let's go and see.
Text item now.
Let's see if it no, it doesn't copy it.
Yeah, go to other, and you'll see the name.
Right, yeah. Right.
There you go. There you can copy it. So now I would say text item number equals me list URLs dot, and then I'm trying to think of what the right list index.
Let's see. There's no count, right?
No, it'll be list index.
Let's see. No list count, list index.
Okay, and hit enter. Or go ahead and take that. Now let's go back to your form and open your form up. Okay, add your Google option. Add MSN.com. Or Microsoft.com. Okay. Now if you click on Google, and now click on MSN.Microsoft. There you go. So now whichever one you click on, it will do. Now you might want to even change the default item number to and make it blank. Change the default for that text item number.
All right.
And then in the
so you just leave it blank.
Right. I would leave it blank.
Right.
And then in the code for the remove button, I would look to see if there's a value there, and if not, I would exit, or I would display a message that says select item to remove.
It goes into the class, right?
Yeah, so I would do an if statement there, and I'd say if me text item number is null, or if is null, then display it. Then I would say message box, select an item from the list. Actually, no, I would use the is null function, or actually I would rather than that I would actually type. Yeah, that would work. And then drop down to the next line and do message box. Select an item from the list. And then I would do an else on the next line. And then after removing the item, I would actually, before your end if line, I would set that item number, text item number equal to null again. Otherwise it would leave it as like number one. Okay, so now if you go back and open that form, the default is still a 1 for some reason. I wonder.
That's strange. Let me just.
Okay, go back to the design view.
It's blank.
It may just be carrying that value over from the last time we had it. So
all right. So close everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now let's try it again. Okay, so add Microsoft.com, add Google.com or something else. Now click on Microsoft.com or Google, either one.
Right.
And now do a remove. And now click remove again. No, don't.
All right. Okay. Let me just. Oh no, I don't know how to. I don't know how to unselect.
Yeah, I mean
Let's just repeat the whole.
Okay.
So now remove this one.
Okay.
And now do click remove again.
Now click remove again. And it should give us that message.
Right. Select an item from the list. So I select an item from the list. Right. Fantastic. Thank you, David.
Right. I'm glad I could help with that.
Because we are close to 4 o'clock, so in closing, I just wanted to, since we are dealing with null now, yesterday I was looking at a video from, Crystal Long.
Yeah, I know Crystal.
And she posted a video, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, that is titled, I don't think I have it here, but basically it's titled how to use Excel functions into Access queries. So it's pretty interesting. One thing that struck me that I never actually thought about it is the fact, because obviously Excel is concerned in the whole thing here, because it's actually kind of cannibalizing some function from Excel and using them in Access. She says that I think one major difference that exists between Excel and Access is the fact that in Excel there's no null, there's only text.
There's only a blank. Yeah.
null is only recognized in a real, true database product like Access. So I think that
what I do here, tell you, I'm gonna request control.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So click on yes, and then let's go back to your code window so I can see your code window. Okay. So what I do is I have a function called that looks like I'm hitting the wrong null or blank. That looks like it's the wrong direction, parentheses.
Yeah,
it is. Can you type in a left paren there?
Right.
Type in a left parentheses. There we go. Okay. Yeah, for some reason, my keyboard is not mapped properly, so put a right parentheses there. Yeah, equals. Type in an equal. Is null or blank equal? And then
Yeah, you can select it between. All right. Ah, okay, right.
And then type a left paren for me. And another left paren. And a right paren. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Actually, let me back that up. Plus. Not make that a plus. Make that a ampersand. Actually, put an ampersand in there.
Right. Ampersand. Here it is.
Those should be two. Put two double quotes.
Right.
And a right paren.
Let me see if I can. Here it is.
And a right paren. And another right paren. And then put equals 0. Okay, so that's the function. That's one of those functions I stick in it's in one of my code modules that I stick in every database, so that I can check with a single query. I can check to see whether any value, whether it's a variable or a control, is either null or it's a blank. That was one of the first things I learned when working with Access, because I kept testing for nulls, and I knew the field was empty, but it turned out the field was blank, had a empty string in it, and as opposed to being null. So this is one of those functions I wrote right early on, and it just makes it easier. So now when I want to test something, I just do is null or blank if. And then type a left paren.
You want this one up here?
Yeah, it should. It won't work in that line anyway, because I'm outside of a code module. But I just wanted to show you the syntax I use, and then put a right paren, and then I just then do whatever.
Right.
So instead of typing this long syntax, which is sometimes confusing to a newbie, and maybe confusing to the next guy that has to read my code. This is very easy to understand.
Yeah. But sometimes you want to keep the nulls.
No, well, that's true. sometimes I will use the is null. But in this case, I would probably use is null or blank, because if you were to go in there and delete the 0, if you were just physically go in there and delete the 0, then the value in that text box may actually be an empty string and not a null.
All right.
Which is why I used this line up here to set that value to null, so I know it's null at that point in time. So anyway, hey, I got to run.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
But it's been a great session. I wish I'd been able to connect to the other. I will. If you can send me. Do you have Dropbox or?
I have OneDrive.
Can you pass me a file via OneDrive?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you'll put that OCX out on OneDrive.
And then send you the link.
And then send me the link. I'll try and download that later on today. I've got a little bit of time, and then maybe I'll try and get back with you. Either I'll send you an email over the weekend, or
yeah. So
next week.
What's your email address?
Let me just type it down here for you.
Right. You're in the conversation window. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were typing into the VBA window.
Oh.
Okay. Right. Got it. So yes. Yeah, I'll send you the OCX and also the test file.
That'd be great.
So you can try it out at your heart's content.
And I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna read this this article by Jim Ferguson that's out on VB123, and see what it has to say. Maybe I'll download that as well.
It's just great. It's just great. It's just that I think that if one is able to master classes in Access, you're on altogether different level. And it's part of the fact that you still can do great things even without using classes. Because I remember, for example, John Viescas, which is one of the foremost Access experts. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He published several books, one of which is SQL Queries for Mere Mortals, and also Building Access Applications, for example. It's a 2005 book. Absolutely zero classes in there. A 400 pages book, all about forms and all kind of acrobatics with Access. But it's zero.
Oh, I agree, and that's probably why. I mean, a very few of the Access books that are out there really discuss classes at all. And that's probably why I have just never dug into it and really learned how to use classes, because there's not much documentation.
Yeah, that's right. Except for the Access Developers Handbook of 2002,
which I have somewhere buried in one of my bookcases somewhere. Yeah, those Access Developers Handbooks. I've got the 2002 version 1 and 2.
That was the last one.
Was 2002 the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was, and that one had 2 volumes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So
for the server side and client side.
Right.
It's interesting to know what is going to happen with Access 2019 now that the Access web apps are out of the way, because I see, for example, books like Access Programming by Rox. I think it was there was Teresa Henning in it, and then about 5 or 6 other Access MVPs producing the Access Programming 2013 books, about 900 pages, and about half of it was hijacked by Access web apps. So now I think books about Access will be markedly different from what was happening before. Maybe it's kind of similar to going back to what was happening before Access web apps.
Yeah, I mean, Teresa Henning was the quote author of that that book when you're talking about and Ben
and also George Hepworth also was in that.
George Hepworth and Ben Clothier were 2 of her co-writers. And they did about 50% of that book was about Access web apps, and then
Yeah, that's right.
Almost right after that came out, the Access team told us that Access web apps were going away.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh man, because I was just starting to dig into Access web apps at that point. So I've totally backed off, and I'm not doing any web stuff at all. I wanted to, I could go back and play with ADPs, but there are still people who have versions of Access that would support an ADP.
Yeah.
It's just not worth the effort at this point.